So the first person I'd like to introduce is Ms. Rachel Rutledge. She is the Career and Technical Education Coordinator for Volusia County Schools. I have no idea how to get that on the business card.
Thank you, Trace. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity for Volusia County Schools to come in and speak with you today about career and technical education. We're in the spotlight right now, nationwide, statewide, and district-wide. Career and technical education is a major focus for our students because we want them to have that hands-on relevant skill to go in whatever path they choose to, whether they want to go right to work when they get out of school, pursue additional training, or move into that post-secondary 4-year type of environment. Career and technical education has a place for every kid along that spectrum. Isn't it great that everyone doesn't want to go along the same path? We've got such a high need, specifically in our community, for all levels of that student. And we are doing quite a bit in our schools already to prepare. And this was a wonderful opportunity to get in front of you and let you know what some of these opportunities are that we're providing. CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. I'm sure many of you know what that is, but if you are not aware, it is hands-on practical learning. It reinforces core academics that the students are learning, so they're learning about their math skills as they're doing measurements in their culinary and hospitality classes or in their construction classes. They're learning the importance of literacy skills as they're reading those instructions to put together a widget. They are learning by doing. And for so many of our students in our middle and high schools, that's how they learn. The stand and deliver method isn't the way we're reaching our generation these days. They need that practical application. We have a lot of legislation this year that is supporting CTE, which I am personally very thrilled about. Our new federal Perkins legislation was signed into effect July 31st, 2018. We've been trying to get on board with that in Florida. We have a 1-year transition plan for the state of Florida that involves a comprehensive local needs assessment. And that needs assessment is looking at all of our stakeholders. It is engaging our business and industry partners, educators, workforce development, economic development, all to collaboratively look at what we're doing in our schools to appropriately align with student interests and with labor market needs. And we're taking this very seriously in the district to be sure that we are preparing your future workforce and preparing our students for those high wage, high skill, high demand careers. We don't want them to just be done with school and go into a minimum wage job contributing to poverty. We want them to have a very high-tech skill that's going to serve them well and help them break that cycle. So that is what we were focusing on, and we may be engaging further with many of you to try to understand exactly what those needs are in the community. You know, we also have Executive Order 1931 that says that we are going to be #1 in workforce by 2030 in the state of Florida. And House Bill 7071, which is putting more of the focus on the career planning and practical application through free apprenticeships. All of this comes together in a beautiful way for the state of Florida and for Volusia County to be setting kids on an appropriate path for their careers. We have 41 career academies in Volusia County schools. We have 79 career and technical education programs. If you think about that, there are so many options for kids in every area. If you look on your table, I've given you a 1-page handout. This has all 10 of our high schools listed. And when you look down this list, we have everything from agricultural careers, audio and video technology, gaming, architecture and construction, manufacturing. We have early childhood education. So about every area that we can think we have needs, we are serving these kids in our schools. We don't have every program or every academy at every school. That would not be possible from a fiscal perspective, but widespread throughout our community, there are so many opportunities for our kids. So study this when you have a moment, just so you can see what we're doing. We have so many opportunities in New Smyrna as well, and I know that's why that's the point of our conversation today, for you to really get an understanding of what our students have available to them right here in your backyard. We, in career and technical education in Volusia County, have a 95.9% graduation rate for CTE concentrators. Let me tell you what that means. If a student takes 3 classes in a particular program, we are graduating them at a rate of 96%. So they've taken levels 1, 2, and 3 of construction. That's our graduation rate, which is significantly higher than our overall graduation rate. What that says is, if we can get these kids engaged and help them see the relevance, we're gonna get them through to the finish line. So our new legislation is really supporting that as well. A lot of our subpopulations that we may be struggling a little bit with, there's a way to get them plugged in into CTE to help them reach the finish line. And not just graduation, but earn industry certifications that immediately transfer into your businesses. We want them to be prepared with the soft skills that they need, be able to show up on time, follow instructions, do what they're asked without being followed around. We know. This is a constant battle with teenagers and preteens. It's helping them understand the importance of that professionalism. And that's where you really play a role in this whole part, is helping us bridge those connections, whether it's through a job shadowing opportunity or for an internship, part-time job, showing them what it looks like to be a part of a business, like what the expectation is gonna be when they graduate. That is a critical piece that we need to build within our community. As Trey alluded to with the mentorship program, our students need to understand from somebody other than their parent or their teacher what the real world is like. And if we set the expectations high, we'll get the results that we want. So we will be looking for further engagement for the kids. And if you'd like to find a way to connect, it's not gonna look the same for every business. We'd love to have further conversations about that. CTE is very much focused on real world skills. We have almost 24,000 enrollments in Volusia County CTE. A huge number of students are being served within our community. I look at other districts our size, and their levels of engagement in CTE are not as high, but there's more that we can do. There's even additional kids that we can serve to help them get on the appropriate path. We, as I mentioned before, we are very much focused on college and career. Not every student is following the same path. We want to prepare that child that wants to graduate from high school and go to work. Absolutely. We want them to have transferable skills. It's not going to look the same. It's not necessarily a hard skill, but it's the aptitude that they're gaining as a part of their career and technical education program that can then easily transfer, and you can train them the way that they need to be. We want to get kids on that path. But we also want to work very closely with our post-secondary partners to be sure that we're connecting with them for that advanced training that they need. And we have many local articulation agreements that we are building out with Daytona State, with Bethune-Cookman. We're working with Embry-Riddle, and some other private institutions to help bridge that next step with the students. We're also working on pre-apprenticeship options. We've been talking about this for a while. I've just been on board for about a little over a year, but we have made some progress in documentation that we need to do. I know there's a major concern in terms of liability and the law with those 16 and 17-year-olds particularly. They need those opportunities to learn from you in the same way, and we do have some protection under the child labor laws if a student's tied to career technical education. So let's work out some of those challenges together and help get those kids engaged. It's an overall picture of CTE. I wanted you to hear from me. We have two of our esteemed principals here today. I'll bring them up in just a minute. I'd also like to introduce you to the other educators that are in the room today. I neglected to do that. Patty Poor, if you don't mind just waving your hand. That she's able to be here today. She's one of our area superintendents, and so she really helps drive what we need to do in our district to move forward. We have Denise Johns. She is our school-based CTE facilitator at Smyrna Beach High, and when she looked around the room, she knew quite a few of you. which is exactly what we want. We want you connecting with the school. Next to her, we have Vince Roshi. Vince is a CTE specialist in our office at the district, and he is working very closely to help bridge some of these connections. We know that often our business partners and our educators speak different languages. I came from sales and marketing into education, and sometimes we're just fly by night. So he is going to help foster some of these relationships as we build them to help the communication and the follow through with those teachers. And so we're glad to have him as well. So from here, I'm going to turn it over to Mike Leader. He is the principal of the New Smyrna Beach Middle School. So thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It is nice to get out of the school once in a while. We have a real lunch. Didn't have to do it. Well, in education, especially administrators, when you have lunch duty, lunch for us is actually duty. It's not time to eat. So I do appreciate the invite. But I do appreciate really the invite to come and talk to you about all of the amazing things that are going on at our school. New Smyrna Beach Middle School currently has 1,211 students as of this morning. And as you've gone by lately, you've seen some upgrades. We have gates that have been put in and fences. All of our students this year are going to be wearing IDs, and we've taken a lead from the high school on that. Then the district in the next 3 years is going to be putting $21 million into the school for some upgrades. Our cafeteria, media center, air conditioning, lighting, flooring. So there are things that are coming to the school to improve. How many of you went to New Smyrna Middle School? A couple of you? What amazes me is when I do any type of event at night and I ask parents, how many of you have gone to New Smyrna Middle? Almost all of them raise their hand. So one of our slogans there is, it is your hometown school, and it truly is. This is New Smyrna's hometown school. So with that said, here are the CTE highlights that happen at our school. We are the only middle school in the district that has a course called Outdoor Pursuits. We are lucky to have an NCAA fishing champion. I didn't know that was a thing, but he has the ring and everything to go with it. But what he has done is he has brought in boating, fishing, archery, all of these outdoor kind of things that our kids absolutely are dying to get in. So he's packed every year. But this year he's now teaming up with the Marine Science Center, and they are taking oysters and they're putting them back into seawater, and oysters will regenerate themselves. I didn't know that was a thing, but it's true. And then they're getting them back to the Marine Science Center, I believe, and they're going to be putting them back into the ocean. So this is a really, really cool thing. I'm super excited about. The kids seem to be. I think I'm close in what I said, but anyway, it had something to do with oysters and regenerate. We have a brand new agriculture teacher this year who is very dynamic. We have a barn on campus, which is not always the case. We have now refurbished the greenhouse, so that is now functional. We fixed the irrigation, all that in there. She is bringing in chickens, and they're going to start producing eggs that will go into our culinary program, and they'll be selling as well. She has mature ones now. There's like a 5 to 6 month ones they're bringing along, and then they are going to be actually putting some in incubators and creating more. So that is something brand new in ag. Hydroponics. We just found we had some hydroponic stuff sitting back in a closet, so we're going to be bringing that in by the end of the year as well. And our 8th graders can take what's called an AEST certification on agriculture. Not sure what's all in it, but it is a certification that they can earn. We have a computer applications and business program. There's an IC3 Spark certification that goes with that. Computer foundations, living online, and key applications that they can do. We also have a 6th grade Stingray Way. It is an organizational class, but that IC3 Spark is in there, and we give that to every single one of our 6th graders. So every 6th grader takes that course. Also, we have digital information technology. It's a high school elective credit. There's MOS certification on Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and email. Last year, we had 16 of the 21 students who took that test, passed it, so they earned that certification. Introduction to technology and exploration of production technology, say that three times real fast. That is one of my favorite classes to go in because they do modules and they're on robotics, coding, 3D modeling, there's some CAD programming that go in there. And the kids are doing some pretty amazing stuff. They just had like a soapbox derby kind of thing with the little cars. They're designing those and they did that yesterday. But they do some 3D printing, they do some really cool stuff. And we actually have kids doing computer graphics. They've designed the t-shirts for the cross-country team and basically produced them for us. So these are kids that are doing these real world things. We have orientation to health careers. That is our health class. And 8th graders this year we're gonna try and certify them on the CPR. So that is coming. Fundamentals of culinary. I had a fantastic teacher fall from the sky last year to take over there, and she's done some amazing things. She has brought in guest speakers. We're trying to get joined up with Daytona State and their culinary program to take some field trips out there. And I don't know if you've ever seen Chopped and some of those. She does those really cool things. She has a Taco Bell ringer, which I thought was really cute. But what she'll do with her more advanced kids is she puts a challenge out there and then they create stuff, and we do taste tests and we actually judge, and there are winners and so forth. But she brings in guest judges as well. So we are looking for that to pair up with some local community restaurants and to see if we can pair up, either come in and do some demonstrations or allow a place for our kids to go and kind of see what real world, culinary stuff is about. So next year we are going to attempt to come up with 3 academies to help to feed into the high school. Actually, Ms. Rutledge and I will be meeting shortly in a few days to do this. First is a health careers one, to do that. Performing arts. We are one of the few to have band, chorus, drama, and dance. So we're going to attempt to do a performing arts academy. And finally, I want to do a farm to table, but kind of do it a little different. Well, culinary is going to be the middle. One branch will go to ag, the other will go to outdoor pursuits, where we can take fishing and things you can find in the wild that way, but then the agriculture, the other, and I'll go into culinary. So that's where we are with that. Our goal is to align with the high school academies that already exist to create the continuity between the schools. So our kids that go up to the high school, they're already getting some of those preliminary skills, and then they can hit the ground running with the high school academies. So that's what we have going on at New Smyrna Beach Middle School. Thank you for your time, and catch the stingray fever.
Since we were in middle school. The level of education that these kids are getting is pretty amazing. And our goal is to create pathways for students so that they can see through to their end goals. So thank you, Mr. Leader. Next up is Matt Krajewski. He is our principal of New Smyrna Beach High School. He'll share with you what they're doing.
Okay, thank you so much for having us. I always say an outstanding community equals an outstanding school or schools. Had the privilege back in the 80s of teaching at Coronado Elementary and also at the high school. A lot of my parents at our school, they're 40 plus years old, I'm dating myself. Now students that I taught are now parents. So I want to talk a little bit about our school. It would be, I want to brag a little bit about New Smyrna Beach High School. We tell the kids we have 2 goals for you. One is we keep you safe. 2 is that you receive a high school diploma. You earn that high school diploma. And I'll take it a step further and say also that we give you skills to be employable or where you can further your education. That goes along with earning a high school diploma. Put my glasses on. Leave these a few years ago. And to brag about our school, our motto is failure is not an option. We tell our students, you will not fail. We will do everything we can, and we need you to do everything you can. We take pride in we were one of the few high schools in the state of Florida that met every subgroup minimal requirement, which of the Every Student Succeeds Act, which means we have no targeted assistance from the state of Florida of any subgroup needing help. We're very proud of that. We're a strong B school. We have 1,897 students. Our motto this year, we kicked off, we told the students, we had t-shirts, prepared to get schooled. Security-wise, we were the only school last year in Volusia County that required IDs. I'll brag, they piggybacked on that, and now all schools require IDs. We thought that was part of our goal of keeping you safe. We now have a guard shack. If you go to the high school, you have to enter through the guard shack. We have a school resource deputy and a school guardian, which we think is very helpful. We had a complete auditorium remodel. We have advanced placement courses. We have a new program in place called ACE, which is an advanced degree program through a company called Cambridge International. Our students can earn that. We have AVID courses. We also have the highest advanced placement exam scores in the district. We're very proud of that. To the academies now, we have 7 academies that we're extremely proud of. We have an Animal Science Academy, and we give what we call industry certifications. They earn a certification that they can actually become employable. So we have 2 in that. We have an ag farm. If you've ever been to New Smyrna Beach High School, it's not on our campus. It is off campus, off of Turnbull Bay Road, somewhere on there.
Pioneer Trail.
I'm not sure, the Pioneer Trail, that's where I know how to get there. We have a medical academy. We have 4 industry certifications with that. Something called emergency medical response, CPR, a medical administrative assistant certification. We have a partnership with Advent Health, where our students job shadow, and they also do ride-alongs with the New Smyrna Beach Fire Department. We have an engineering academy, 2 industry certifications. They do something called Autodesk and engineering, and we have Autodesk and engineering. We also have a competitive robotics team through that. Culinary, piggybacking on the middle school, they feed into us 2 industry certifications, something called Serve Safe and Food Safety Management. We have an entertainment and sports marketing academy, and we're doing a school-based enterprise out of that. We bought a silk screener. We're actually making shirts for our athletic department, our clubs on campus. The clubs purchase the shirts, the kids design them, and our kids actually print these shirts, so we're very excited about that. They also do the marketing, the pamphlets, the brochures for our sporting events that we have. Criminal Justice Academy, we have industry certification, 9/11 operator certification. I think maybe the only school that does that.
Yeah.
They can earn a job, they can get that and actually be employable in what is it, $10 an hour,
$16 an hour.
16 an hour immediately. So that's something, and we have a teacher now that just passed the testing to be able to give that test. And then we're real excited about another academy where we'll be adding next year. We have it in place, but it's not an academy, but it is a course called Child Development. We call it CUDA Care, and we actually have our students doing, back to better word, babysitting, but actually people drop their students off, their children in the morning, and our kids actually watch these students and they learn how to do this. We're actually excited. We have a lot of males in that program this year too, which is very exciting. We have 5 CTE programs. They all offer at least 1 certification for industry certification. We have aquaculture, and we have an active partnership. Somebody was here for the Marine Discovery Center, I heard. So we have a very active partnership with that. Our kids go over there, and with the Florida Fish and Game. We have construction. They assist with construction projects at our ag farm, as well as on campus. We have a digital video production. They just did a promotional video for Edgewater Police Department. And we have a game design and simulation. And we have 2 clubs in that. Girls Who Code is one, and the other one is the gaming and simulation team. And I don't know if you saw, recently there was a student that earned $3 million. That's what we're signing up for, but we'll have to donate it back to the school. That's another thing. We have students doing that, so we're very excited about that. And in the industry certifications that I'm talking about, those are all credits towards graduation when they pass that, and it counts for credits in science and math. So it's sort of twofold. We want them in the academies, and then they can also get that credit towards graduation. The whole idea is to get those numbers up in those programs, and more importantly, get those students to have employable skills and get them out to you guys or you come into our school so that they are employable, so that they're learning skills. I can tell you, not everybody that I talk to, students that I mentor, are college bound. That's the reality of it, but they all want a job, they all want to do something, they want a career, and that's what it's all about. Real quick on athletics, girls volleyball team ranked 4th in the state. Football team just traveled to Alabama, we won that game. Exciting. Cross country swimming is in progress, and just a lot of good things happening at the high school. I am gonna have Denise Johnson come up here for just a minute to talk about what's at your table, which is a flyer and I believe a sign-up sheet if you want to help volunteer and come out to our school, or what you can do if you feel like you want to get more involved. We're here for you, our students are here for you. Anything we can do, come see us at the high school, because the whole idea is to form this partnership that will help these kids have bright futures. That's what it's all about. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Denise Johns. My current title is Career Technical Education Facilitator at New Smyrna Beach High School. I'm also the mentor coordinator this year for New Smyrna Beach High School. Many of you I know because I was a police officer in this city for 30 years. So I jumped from one fire into another and I'm loving it. On your table, I've provided you with a flyer that tells you all about our academies and our programs, as well as the industry certifications that we offer on our campus. I've also given you a sheet of paper that if you're interested in helping out with any of our academies, be that as a guest speaker, coming in and teaching specific skills that you may have, coming in and working on an advisory board for one of our academies, please complete this and forward it to me. We are always looking for people within the community to come in and provide skills. You have skills that you can share with our students that would be amazing. They get tired of hearing from the teachers every day, all the time. So having someone come in can definitely be beneficial. Also, several of you have come to the campus and toured our Career Technical Education program. And for those of you who have been there, you know it's a pretty amazing day. It's not boring in any way. If that's something you're interested in, my card is also on the table. Please reach out to me via email and I will be glad to set up a tour for you to come in. You can bring in some of your business partners. I'll show you all of our academies and our programs and the amazing school that we're at and all that we have to offer. So we're there for you. We just need everything that you can help us with and provide for us, and that's why these flyers will help you see what we offer, and then you in turn can tell us what maybe you could offer, because I don't know everybody out there and I don't know what amazing skills you possess, but we certainly would love to share and have you share with our students. So thank you for letting us be here, and please come see our campus.
Thank you both. I hope what you are taking away from today is the amount of engagement that our students have from their preteens on to graduation. We are working very diligently in Volusia County Schools to prepare our students to come to you. If there's any way that you see that we can improve, that you would like to be a part of, please reach out to myself or to one of the principals. We love community involvement. It matters for them to see an adult, other than, as I mentioned, other than their parent and their teacher that are sharing skills with them, but to interact, whether it's through a mock interview, whether it is allowing them to come into your business for the day and see what it is that you do, whether it's having a regular call scheduled with them to just follow up and keep them on track, or something more formal, like a part-time job or an internship or a pre-apprenticeship. We want to filter these kids to you. We want to plug them in and get them into our workforce in our community and keep them in our community. Any way that we can engage, please let us know. We very much appreciate the opportunity to come speak with you today.